Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. So Cristiano Ronaldo coming back to Manchester United is a possibility, and it's almost inevitable that he will be leaving Juventus. He probably will be leaving next summer. Next summer, Cristiano Ronaldo will have 1 year left on his contract with Juventus. Now, I give you the news about Ronaldo earlier on this month, and Fox Sports journalist Christian Martin came out and said that Man United are in talks over bringing Cristiano Ronaldo back to the club. And then it also mentioned that we made a formal offer to Cristiano Ronaldo's agent, Jorge Mendes. Now, he has been at Juventus for a few years. He scored 71 goals in 94 games in all competitions. Juventus did pay £100 million for him from Real Madrid. But Juventus want to get rid of him so it can free up their wage bill, because Cristiano Ronaldo is on around £540,000 a week at Juventus. Doesn't that equate to around £28 million per year? He could go to PSG, Ronaldo, because also PSG have been in for him. Now there's rumours saying that, he could even go back to Real Madrid. Ronaldo, anyway, did endure 6 years with Manchester United. He was with us from 2003 to 2009. He scored 118 goals in 292 games in all competitions. During his time with us, he won 3 Premier Leagues. He won the Champions League, and he also won the FA Cup, and he did win the FIFA Club World Cup. When we got Ronaldo, we paid just £12 million for him from Sporting Lisbon. But in 2009, we did sell him to Real Madrid for £80 million. And he enjoyed a good 9 or 10 years with Real Madrid. Scored over 400 goals for Real Madrid in all competitions. But during his playing career, he has won 30 major honours. And he has won 5 Ballon d'Ors. Ronaldo is the age of 35. I don't care how old he is, I would still take him back at Manchester United. So, that is the breaking news on him. Now, I'll delve into another topic. According to Christian Fark, he says that Niklas Sule dreams of joining Manchester United in the future. Niklas Sule currently plays for Bayern Munich, and he is a centre-half. He is the age of 25. Now, he's got around 2 years left on his contract with Bayern Munich. In 2 seasons with Bayern Munich, he was a regular, but now he's actually lost his place in the team because he doesn't play a lot now, does he? He's obviously had quite a few injuries and issues during his time at Munich. Obviously, before he was at Bayern Munich, he was at Hoffenheim. So, would you take him at Manchester United? Do you think he'd do well alongside Harry Maguire in our back line? So, yeah. Now, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer backs Paul Pogba to improve. Um, Solskjaer has had one-to-one talks with him, and he says that Paul Pogba is an important player, and he says he is an important person. And Solskjaer says it's important that we make him happy at the club again, because Solskjaer has revealed that Paul Pogba is not happy at the football club. Paul Pogba's only started 2 of our last 7 games. Now, Didier Deschamps, who is the France manager, he's been talking a lot about Paul Pogba recently, saying like he understands Paul Pogba better than Solskjaer. And he said he's got huge talent, and he praised him for that. He also said that he's unhappy at the club for being left on the bench and for playing out of position. Solskjaer did respond though to what Didier Deschamps has been saying. Paul Pogba made a few comments recently saying that playing for France is a breath of fresh air. He said this season has been the most difficult period in his career, because Paul Pogba was talking about his struggles at Manchester United this season. And he's received a lot of criticism in recent weeks, reflecting on his comments. Now, Paul Pogba has had a long-running transfer saga. And, he's been relentlessly linked to a move to Real Madrid. Don't forget, Paul Pogba made an admission earlier on this season saying that one day his dream is to join Real Madrid. Because he said last year he wanted to leave Man United because he was seeking for a new challenge. Juventus has been rumours of him going back there. Paul Pogba did enjoy 4 good years with Juventus. The vast majority of his performances at Man United have been totally comparison. PSG and Barcelona have been in for him before. Now, Paul Pogba is intending on leaving the club on a free transfer. But obviously, we want to sell him before he leaves on a free transfer. Obviously, we triggered that 1-year extension on his contract earlier on in the season. So, Pogba's under contract with the football club until 2022. Paul Pogba was unhappy when we triggered that 1-year extension on his contract. This is his 5th season at Manchester United since he rejoined. Obviously, he's made over 100 appearances for the football club in all competitions. And he's won 3 trophies at the club so far. And that was the Europa League, the League Cup and the Community Shield. Obviously, for the vast majority of last season, he was out with an ankle injury. As it stands at the moment, he is our most expensive signing because we paid £89 million for him. Not only that, he's one of the highest paid players at the club because he's on 290 grand a week. But yeah, Paul Pogba could be starting tonight against West Brom, couldn't he? So that's the breaking news on him. Now, we should be beating West Brom tonight at Old Trafford. If we do beat West Brom tonight, it will be our 4th win in the Premier League this season, and it will be our 1st win at Old Trafford in the Premier League this season. As it stands at the moment, we've not yet won at Old Trafford in the league this season, so it's been our worst start at Old Trafford for around 50 years. Will be a tough game though. West Brom have got a good record at Old Trafford. I think they've won 3 of their last 5 meetings at Old Trafford. But we should be beating them because West Brom have not won a game yet in the Premier League this season. And they are sitting 18th in the Premier League, so they are in the relegation zone. West Brom's current manager is Slaven Bilic, isn't it? But if we can win our next 5 or 6 games, I think a lot of pressure will ease off Solskjaer. You know, reflecting on that win against Everton the other week, some of the pressure would have eased off him then, because if we hadn't have beaten Everton, then I think Solskjaer would have been sacked as Manchester United manager. I really, really do. Now, at the moment, we are sitting 14th in the Premier League, and we have registered just 10 points from our opening 7 games in the Premier League. And we know that's nowhere near good enough to our standards. But we've had some good results this season, but we've also had some poor results. You know, the good results came against RB Leipzig and PSG. Obviously, it was a good result against Everton, but the poor results came against Crystal Palace, Tottenham, Istanbul Başakşehir and Arsenal. But despite our poor start to the season, you know, Solskjaer is still at the club for now. Ed Woodward came out the other week and said that Manchester United remain absolutely committed to Solskjaer despite our poor start to the season. Obviously, there's a few issues that Solskjaer's got to sort out at the football club, like I've already been through with you. But yeah. Now, obviously, if we was not to beat West Brom tonight, then more pressure would be on Ole. Obviously, there has been talks of Mauricio Pochettino coming in to replace Solskjaer. He's been the favourite to take over. Also, Massimiliano Allegri, he's been on our agenda, the former Juventus manager. Julian Nagelsmann, he's been another manager on our agenda. And it recently said from 2 Sport that Roberto Mancini was on our agenda. But to be honest with you, it wouldn't really solve a lot if we sack Solskjaer, because not all the blame stems from him, does it? Some of the blame does, but not all of it. We've obviously had problems with the board for several years at the football club. Reflecting how poor our recruitment policy's been, and none of our managers have been backed enough by the board since the Sir Alex Ferguson era. So Moyes wasn't backed enough, Van Gaal wasn't backed enough, Mourinho wasn't backed enough, and Solskjaer obviously hasn't been backed enough, because we missed out on all of his priority targets during the summer transfer window. There's still players at Manchester United that are not good enough to represent the club, and there's still deadwood that we do need to get rid of. I think it would be very beneficial if Manchester United could get a director of footballing, because that's one of the structural changes that we need at the football club. And plus, if we get a director of footballing, Solskjaer will get more backing. We've been in the process of trying to get a director of footballing now for like the last 3 years or so. But it is good that we are making plans for next year, because next year we are looking to make more signings. I think Manchester United need a centre-half, and we also need a right winger. There's been a lot of players on our agenda. We're obviously looking to get rid of more players next year. It recently confirmed that around 4 players are going to leave Man United in January, and that's Phil Jones, Marcus Rojo, Sergio Romero, and Timothy Fosu-Mensah. I think more players will leave Manchester United next summer. I think Matic could leave because Matic has lost his place in the team. Possibly Juan Mata could leave as well. Daniel James, he could leave because Daniel James has been out of form. And plus, he doesn't get in the team lot now. He's only made 5 appearances for the football club so far in all competitions this season. He did play a lot of games though last season. Daniel James said he still loves it though at Man United despite his lack of action. Lingard, I think we'll get rid of him. Brandon Williams, now we could also loan him out because Williams is now our 3rd choice left back following the arrival of Alex Telles. And I'm expecting Paul Pogba to leave the football club. But Solskjaer does deserve more backing at the football club, definitely. Now, he has been Manchester United manager now for almost 2 years. And this is his second full season now at the football club. And I said if we could finish in the top 4 this season, and if we could win a trophy, that would represent a good season for Manchester United, and that would give us something to build on. I think there's a chance we could win a trophy this season, by the way. We could win the Carabao Cup, win into the quarterfinals of that. We could win the FA Cup, but I don't see us winning the Premier League, and I don't see us winning the Champions League either. But I think we'll get to the knockout stages of the Champions League. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's got a contract with the football club until 2022. I'm very, very sceptical that he will see out his contract unless a miracle does happen. And if we did decide to sack him, it would cost the club around 4 or 5 million. He's managed over 100 games for Manchester United in all competitions, and he's won around 57 games as Manchester United manager. But since Ole Solskjaer got appointed in, he has spent over £200 million. What?
You ordered something?
No.
A little parcel?
Oh, yeah, why? Oh, has it come? Passes it. I need it. Yeah, like I was saying, since he got appointed in, he has spent over £200 million at Manchester United. And he's endured 4 transfer windows at the club. We've also seen a lot of players depart the club since he got recommended in. I like the way that Ole has promoted the youth. He did well in his first full season, which was obviously last season, and Ole showed a lot of tactical flexibility in a lot of the big games. So there is positives that you can take. But in the last 7 years or so, we've obviously had different managers with different philosophies. 3 managers have been sacked since Ferguson left, and that was Moyes, Louis van Gaal and Jose Mourinho. We've spent over £1 billion on players in the last 7 years or so. We've overpaid for players in recent years. Don't forget we paid £89 million for Pogba, £75 million for Lukaku, £60 million for Di Maria, £80 million for Harry Maguire, £50 million for Fred, was it? £40 million for Matic, £50 million for Wan-Bissaka. So we have definitely overpaid for players. We've only won 4 trophies since Ferguson retired, and that was the FA Cup under Van Gaal, and the Europa League, the League Cup, and the Community Shield under Jose Mourinho. That came in Jose Mourinho's first season, didn't it? But like I said, our success came under Sir Alex Ferguson, didn't it? Ferguson endured 27 years at the football club and won a total of 38 major honours, including 13 Premier League titles. But he didn't win out in his first 4 years at the club, so he didn't settle in straight away. Not every manager does. No one will replicate his legacy, nobody. But since Ferguson left, we've been poor, and before Ferguson came into the equation, we was poor. We haven't won the Premier League now for around 8 years. Last time we won it was back in 2013 in Alex Ferguson's last season. Now, Manchester United have got a few injuries, as you all know. Obviously, Marcus Rashford has been out with a shoulder problem. He said he's actually a doubt for tonight's game against West Brom, but he was training yesterday. Reflecting on this shoulder problem, Marcus Rashford missed England's game recently. Marcus Rashford's really, really improved as a Man United player. His finishing's improved, he's scoring goals, he gets good runs in behind. Rashford recently turned 23 years of age, and he's been at United since the age of 7, and he's been in our senior squad since 2016. He's more effective out wide, I think, than he is centrally. Now, Anthony Martial, he's had a few back problems, hasn't he? I haven't been too impressed with Anthony Martial this season, to be honest with you. He did have a 3-game suspension in the Premier League though, because he got sent off in our 6-1 defeat to Tottenham. Shouldn't have been sent off though. But Martial was good last season under Solskjaer, and he was good in his debut season under Louis van Gaal era. He's enjoyed a good 5 years or so now at the football club. Victor Lindelof now, he's got a problem with his back. I think he said he's going to be further assessed today. Maybe he will be available for tonight's game. I think Victor Lindelof has improved recently, but he's still nowhere near on the same level as Harry Maguire. Eric Bay and Marcus Rojo have returned to training yesterday for the first time in a month, but they're still not available because Bay's been out of a muscle injury, hasn't he? Luke Shaw's out of a hamstring injury. He's out for up to a month. It's my only element of concern about Luke Shaw. He's far too injury prone. But he's done well for us recently. Jesse Lingard, he's out as well. I think as he got some kind of knock. And Phil Jones is obviously out injured. So we have got quite a few injuries. But these players at Manchester United that have really, really impressed me this season, like I've already been through with you, Marcus Rashford, he's really, really impressed me. Bruno Fernandes, he's really, really impressed me. Bruno Fernandes is definitely Manchester United's best player. Bruno Fernandes has enjoyed a good 10 months or so at the football club. And he scored like 18 goals and provided 13 assists in 33 appearances for us. The vast majority of his goals have come from the penalty spot. Now, Fernandes scored 2 goals against Everton and he also got an assist. His worst game in a Manchester United shirt was the Istanbul Besiktas one, because he was dispossessed around 34 times. But there's only been a couple of games where he has looked off the pace. In the vast majority of Bruno Fernandes' games, he has been very, very consistent. We paid €55 million for him from Sporting Lisbon back in January. Fernandes has got a contract with the football club until 2025. And last season won Premier League Player of the Month twice, and he won some Matt Musby Player of the Year award. Reports from Spain recently said that Real Madrid and Barcelona are keen on signing him at the end of the season. And if things don't improve at Man United, then that will persuade him to leave the football club. Donny van der Beek, now I've been recently impressed with him, but he's not played much for Manchester United. Donny van der Beek has not yet made his full Premier League debut for the football club. But he has started our last 2 games in the Champions League. Now, Van der Beek recently revealed what Solskjaer had told him. And he's told him to be patient and wait for his opportunities. But he did make a confession regarding his playing time, Van der Beek, saying that I would have loved to have played more at Manchester United this season. We paid £40 million for him from Ajax, but he can play in like 3 different roles, but he's predominantly a box-to-box midfielder. Now, Fred, he's really, really impressed me recently because he showed good attacking intent. I like the way he's broke up the play and that. He was very good against Everton. He wasn't so good in the Arsenal game because he lost the ball far too many times. Like I said, Luke Shaw, been impressed with him recently. In his last 2 games, Luke Shaw's got 2 assists, don't forget. Harry Maguire, I've been very, very impressed with him. Harry Maguire showed good attacking intent. He's held his line well. He's also been very effective in the air. He's bounced back from his early season troubles, because he did have early season troubles because he had that incident in Greece before the start of the season. He also had a few knocks and he got sent off, don't forget, in England's 1-0 defeat to Denmark earlier on in the season. Harry Maguire is our current captain. He's the most expensive centre-half in the world at the moment because we got him in a deal worth £80 million from Leicester. Now, Wan-Bissaka, I've also been very, very impressed with him. You know, Wan-Bissaka's show good attacking intent. His defensive contributions been good. And he's put some very, very good crosses into the box. This is Wan-Bissaka's second season at the football club. We got him in a deal worth £50 million from Crystal Palace in the summer of 2019. I've also been very, very impressed with David De Gea. He's made some very, very good saves. I said David De Gea will remain our number one this season. This is David De Gea's 10th season at Man United, so he has been a long servant. Even Juan Mata, he's impressed me in quite a few of the games he's played in this season. He did well in both of our Cowbell Cup games against Luton and Brighton. You know, he did well in the Chelsea game. He did well in the Newcastle game, but he weren't so good in the Everton game and the Istanbul Başakşehir game. Juan Mata's enjoyed a good 6 years or so at the football club. He's scored 50 goals for Man United in all competitions, and he has made over 200 appearances. We got him for like £40 million from Chelsea back in 2014. So yeah, they are the players that have impressed me. There's obviously, you know, players that have been disappointing as well. You know. So yeah. So alright guys, that's everything to update you today. Drop your comments, likes, on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless. See you all again very, very soon.